It's not often I get to hang out with legends, and don't make a face because you are that and you've earned it. So I'm going to say it: hanging out with absolute legends, gentlemen.
we'll make the face for you.
Ronnie, Garth, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for having me, rather. Before I start anything, we're talking about an epic song, a collaboration I'd imagine was years in the making, or maybe an accidental text message at some point. But if it's okay, can I start with your bar?
Yeah.
Because it's just down the street from where I sit. We have a studio down on Broadway at Aldean's spot. Friends in Low Places, we were just talking, it's a brand in itself, right? That song has become such a massive thing for so many people. Why not Garth's Bar, Garth's Place?
I thought Friends was more inviting. Hey, man, Friends in Low Places. I think this song, whether you like Garth or don't like Garth, this song still kind of makes you chuckle.
Right.
So I love it, and I think it's what we're speaking of. I think the song Friends in Low Places, and you can help me out here, is just the theme of the underdog. And we're all underdogs.
That's it. And two bars are synonymous with that vibe from where we come from, like beer joints, bars, honky tonks, whatever. But that right there, and that song is just freaking, I don't have to say it, it's iconic. What am I selling? Your bar?
What I love about it is you just said it, because not a lot of people know the difference between a bar and a honky tonk. That's why it's a bar and a honky tonk. It's got a dance floor, but it's also a place where you can just come, hang with your buddies, and raise a beer together.
All the furniture's low. There's many bar stools.
They call it the quad bar because you better be doing setup before you come up through here.
Low bar.
When it comes to extending, everything's about a brand now, right? Like, you're a brand, you have to have a brand. So Garth is, an amazing performer. Brooks and Dunn, amazing performers, legends. But now outside of that, you're doing your stuff on Studio G, social media. That's part of your brand. The bar now, part of your brand. Is it important for you guys, even though you're plenty established, to continue to find ways for fans to connect like that, like the bar, or, Brooks and Dunn, you obviously have your residency like Garth does too?
We were just talking about that thing a minute ago where we try to, we thought we were going to quit. Everybody's quit. Not everybody, but and had too much downtime. So Garth calls me one day. He goes, "I'm coming over to your place." We had been going back and forth with text and fill in the blanks, and correct me if I'm just making this up in line, but I don't think I am. I got a text, and he goes, "I'm coming over. I'm unemployed." All right, so I don't have anything to do, and I would go, "Well, I can relate to that because a few years ago I thought I was going to do the same thing, and then you walk into the house and shut the door, and there's nobody there, and it's real quiet. And you go, whew, no, this life's not for me." Yeah, what did I just say? Iron out the wrinkles. Go, you're good at this.
Oh my God! And the thing is, if you sound like him, as a fan, do I want him to stop? Hell no. Right? I still want to hear that good stuff. But I think sometimes 2 a.m. in the morning, you get an idea that's unbelievable. And for me, about a year ago, I woke up in bed and went, holy cow, if there was a Brooks and Dunn, I think that would be a success. So
it's worked out well.
He's a genius.
So you guys, like I said, plenty established in your own right. You're putting out, it's your 14th studio album.
Yes.
That's a part of the final box set, right?
Yes.
I'll get to that in a second, but take me to how this is, because I'd imagine y'all have talked about working together at some point, right? How is this, or maybe not?
No,
maybe I had no desire to work together.
No, so probably because of Brooks and Dunn, right? It's always been one of those things. But we were texting songs back and forth.
Yeah.
And he texted me Rodeo Man, and I said, smash. That's all it is. Just wrote it back, smash. And he made the mistake of texting me back, and I went, well, if I would change anything in it.
Right. It's a smash, but.
And my first text was, look, man, I don't want to steal your song. I don't even want to get involved with it. And somehow I finagled my way all the way in to where now it's a full-blown duet.
That's the danger of texting right there. It really is, because you can just fire back like a couple of lines and go, oh, that may be better, actually. The next thing you know, instead of just sitting around talking about it face to face, you can get bold and do things like that. And it worked.
Yeah, it's fun.
What he did and added to it, it worked.
By the way, I suggest, and you handle your relationship fantastic as is, but if Trish is ever like, how was dinner? Don't go, oh, it was great.
But
it might swing here, but it can swing there.
She's in the house. I'm way off.
Yeah, right. Why? Because you were heavy part of writing this, right?
yeah, he wrote it.
Right.
Who'd you write this with?
Phil O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I call him Phil Billy.
Okay.
Phil Billy. That's
Isn't that a great name?
Why
Phil Billy.
have you bounced stuff off of Garth before? Like, why did this project feel like, hey, what do you think of this?
No, we didn't. I think we both been busy,
Yeah.
at the same time. You're working all the time. Jeez, I mean, like, you're off. You're not off. I mean, it's going from here to one thing that they never stop. So I even hesitated coming in here to like text you and go, hey, is there a dress code? What are we doing? That kind of stuff. He never stopped. So you answer that.
How well do you know him?
This is second time I met him.
Okay,
Brief.
if he's not sitting here, one of the greatest vocals to ever grace country music is Ronnie Dunn. But Ronnie's the last guy that believes that. So he'll text you, we'll text back and forth, and we've had these conversations, and it's like, man, I just want to hear what he's doing. I'm a fan. And so he's sweet enough to send me things he's doing. And everything he sends sounds like a freaking smash because he's singing it. But then something will poke out where you go, oh, Jiminy, Chris, but you might want to hang on with both hands if you release this. So it's fun. I don't know, it's not about what it's going to do. It's about what it is when it comes out. And for me, Rodeo Man, I'm lucky to get to be a part of that.
It's good, and the funny thing
double
is,
win.
coming from you, and now it's going to be in your catalog forever. It almost feels like a throwback to earlier hits for you. So it's funny how it all played out, right? Did you feel the same?
Yeah, I did. A lot of it, too, is just that country music is going to stay the same through the decades, right? You might dress it up a little different, but it's still going to stay the same. And then there's some throwbacks in there. So what he was talking about, what makes it modern is the great Brent lick, ding, 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 ding. And all of a sudden you're in Pulp Fiction if you want, or you're in any Quentin Tarantino movie.
You remember that song where they're like doing that dance or whatever, Uma Thurman, Travolta?
Yeah.
If you do a video, you got to do that, man.
Yes.
That's the only input I have.
And then Jimmy Mattingly does the Orange Blossom Special. Bing, ding, just right against that lick. It works so well, man. It's just so much fun. Then here comes steel, fiddle, and country music. You can help me on this one. Country music seems to be taking a turn back toward more traditional at this point.
In a big way.
It's good to hear
a big
steel
way,
and fiddle
yeah.
again.
Yeah, on and on. I asked you like a while back, and you don't have to answer this, but I said, what's the goal? I thought like there's some business thing because like you're so successful at everything you do. What's the agenda that's pushing you to do the radio station, to do the big 615? I mean, and you came back with a real easy answer. You just went, I just want to let people hear real country music.
Well, since everything now is, we're actually co-workers because everybody's station's now on the 5G, and we're all working together. And our job is to promote country music. That's what we do.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to promote it till the day we die. And like this guy here doesn't show any signs of slowing down. I was telling who was the girl that was in here? Was it Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just telling Miss Katie that he just put Trisha Yearwood in the Austin City Limits Hall of Fame. And she's got a song called Carry Me Home, which is impossible to sing anyway. He's not only singing it, he's singing it in her key. And it's like, dude, it's impossible. So when you see athletes like this that can still do it, why in the world do you want them to stop?
When it comes to putting out new music and continuing to, the residencies and the tours, you guys both have such a strong career that you could be like, I've got my hits, we've got our stuff, and that's good enough. But you keep finding ways to create and giving fans more. Why are you cool with not just resting on what you've already built? Because you could do that. Like, that could still pay the bills forever, right?
Yeah, but I think I don't know. No, I do know. I mean, we came in as creative entities. I mean, that's what you do. When that lightning strikes from wherever it comes from, that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Willie's out there doing it forever. Christofferson, all that stuff. And I'm not making comparisons here, but it's just what you do. I read this article a long time ago. I was a psych major, so I got to like read Psychology Today if I'm on the plane or something. It says if you're a creative type and you're not creating, there's a good chance you're self-destructing.
Wow.
100%.
Yeah, that's deep.
100%. It's like faith without action isn't faith at all.
That's
so
it.
I think it's a gift, and you're very blessed if you get this gift, but it's not your decision when you're done with a gift.
Shouldn't be.
You go out and you do it, and there's going to come a day, and sooner than all of us want, there's going to come a day when it doesn't work anymore. And all the money it's made you ain't going to buy you another day.
True.
So just enjoy it right now. And I get where you say keep giving, but I don't know about you, man. I feel like I've taken since day one.
You
These
and me
people
both.
show up.
You and me both.
These people show up, and you don't know why. I mean, I particularly don't know why for this guy, but they do.
We weren't going to say that.
Don't start this.
Let me ask you guys this too, as we look forward to the project together, which I said is fantastic, and it's so like it's like a puzzle completion where you were looking for the last piece. That's how the song feels as a country fan. Take me back to, we'll start with Brooks and Dunn. Take me back to a song that really connected for you guys. That's a surprise, and then I'm going to ask you the same thing.
Ooh.
A song that you're like, this ain't gonna work, we'll try it anyway, or it just got its own legs and its own life,
Okay.
and it surprises you that it did.
Okay,
You didn't think it would work, maybe.
All right, I can think of several, but the one that stands out more than anything, well, Maria would have been one, believe it or not. I thought first it was the first cover that we'd done that we hadn't written. I used to stay frustrated early on because no one would pitch us songs. You know, it's not something they must all think we're not going to last long, which I get, but that was it, and I thought it was like, in country we write literally, and like we tell a story word for word, and that song was more open to like impressionism, that kind of stuff. You kind of look at it quick, and you just kind of form some kind of thing in your head. Yeah. And classic rock does that, you know. When we know stuff, but that one and Ain't Nothing About You, I thought,
Really?
I'm running way off the tracks here.
Jiminy Christmas,
Right,
because
and
you
they all
hit
became
two.
huge
You
hits,
hit
right?
two. That's so you know.
So don't listen to me. I took all the mirrors out of the house after that.
Garth, same question.
I
What's a
got-
song that, and obviously, you anytime we've interacted, you're humble. You know, you're enjoying every space that you get to be in. But there has to be a song that you're like, wow, this one worked, and I can't believe it did.
Yeah, well, I got, trust me, I'm married to one of the greatest singers on the planet.
Amen.
So I have two wonderful stories with her. She came to me with the first album and go, hey, you want to do a song called She's in Love with a Boy? I listened to it and go, nah, it's too obvious. It's just, don't do that. It's too obvious.
What?
First time ever a female goes to #1 and stays for 2 weeks on her debut single in history.
And she
right?
let you stick around?
We weren't married then. And then her thing was they had a movie called Con Air, and they had some kind of misunderstanding with who was originally going to sing the song, and at the last second called her, and it was Leanne Rimes that had the original cut on it, and she had no idea. She had a friend from MCA from Universal Pictures, so her and Tony Brown cut it, and it was How Do I Live Without You. And she goes, I'd have never picked it for me. So I think those things happen. Mine actually was the very first one, much too young. Brought it to this town, but I thought Alan Reynolds was being sweet to me because there's so many great writers in this town that I said, man, let's don't cut it because it's got my name on it. I really want. He goes, no, I really feel there's something in this song that's you. And so I think the very first one for me was, that's never going to work. It was much too young, and it's been a sweet ride ever since.
You're back in Vegas. It's with Caesars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why a residency? Because you've done the residency play before. Why was it right for you now, in this chapter of your career, like to revisit that? Man,
dude, this is what I love, doing an interview with a guy that we do the same thing.
Yeah.
You can go to arenas and you go to stadiums. Well, how do you get bigger in stadiums? You don't, right? So the only way to get bigger in stadiums is turn it on its head and go back to just you and the people right here.
It's magic.
Oh my God. And it's so huge.
Yeah.
It's like, so the crowds in Vegas, I'll compare them to any stadium crowd, any arena crowd, any dive bar crowd. They're fabulous, and they're just right there with you. So
they're there to hear you too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every show you do fulfills you in a different way, right? What is it about those Vegas shows that, because it's got to hit you a different way, right? You said the energy, you'd put it, but what does it do for you personally, selfishly maybe, to be able to go to Vegas and
Let me try something.
Elvis, Dean Martin, I mean, famous names have sold out every building up and down there.
I do. I'll catch myself out from my room sometimes up there, and I'll look out and go, God, that's a sign that Frank Sinatra's name is on. Did you ever do that early on, back when that sign was still there, before Vegas exploded? But and you've done this. I can't even speak really about being in stadiums compared to you, and you're one of, if not the greatest entertainer ever lived. I mean that. But I've caught myself in stadiums going, I'm just a dot. I'm a dot, and you become a big dot But I'm an introverted dot sitting there going, holy cow, how do you relate to this? You know, how do you talk or say anything? In those casinos, and they're big rooms. I mean,
They are big
rooms. You know,
rooms.
4,000 or 5,000 seat rooms. I mean, the sound is so good. That's the first thing you'll notice. You'll
Amen.
go, whoa, man, this is like unbelievable. And you can talk and relate, and you're the biggest all-time master of it in the world. So, you know, I don't know. There's an intimacy there.
Yeah.
But the party vibe is there. You know, whether you want to go with party vibe or you want to get real intimate, and that's, you know, you get out there and you miss that without knowing it. I think you suddenly get in this smaller room and you go, whoa, it's a different vibe for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I think you take the love of your life, and you see her dressed 100 different ways. Award shows, you know, in her pajamas, reading a book in front of a fireplace, everything in between. But she's always that woman, right? And I think playing is that way. Stadiums, Vegas, 2 in the morning, you can't sleep, pull out your guitar. Something happens inside. I wish I could describe it. It must feel like what a bird feels like to fly. But everything in you just becomes alive. And then you realize, holy cow, I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm selfishly doing this so I can breathe. And when you get to do it on this level, man, that's a gift from people and God right there. Enjoy every second of it.
Means the world that y'all took the time today. Thank you so much, guys.
Do me a favor, hug Haley for me, okay? Hug
I
your boy
will.
for me.
Appreciate
It's
you,
good
boys.
talking to you.
Thank you, guys.
I
Get
enjoyed
that boy
it.
straightened out.
I might send him on over.
Yeah.
I might send him on
Just
over.
hope he doesn't grow up to be your size. What you got?
You ain't kidding. I can't afford to feed me, let alone him.